classrooms in a lot of the schools. Hermiston. Got one. We used to have one over at West Park. Is that the only school district that branched out? Is that after they switched and merged with Union? Would you like it better working directly with the school district? How many people work in that? Yeah. Does every classroom have its own Wi-Fi, or is there just different areas? What do you guys run those Cisco at? Those completely non-stop?
They're occasionally right now, but they're all
Wow.
they will upset.
They have pretty good range on it.
Depends on some of the older buildings like Rocky Heights where it's all cinder block construction.
Yeah. So concrete makes it more difficult then. I don't know what they built those shelter type buildings that we had at all the Head Start centers, these shelters. We had out in Boardman, we've got 2 buildings that are basically both modular. And I've got a Wi-Fi, and I put the Wi-Fi of just a Netgear router right in the windowsill. I mean, it's from here to the end of this block right here, where this car we're on or whatever, across this little quad. And you can hardly get to one more. But I don't know what it has to be whatever they're built out of, because I can literally pick up, you know, when I used to live across the street from Larry Usher, he would jump on my Wi-Fi network. He was 100 feet. I know it travels obviously faster than it gets outside. I don't want to pay to have wired buildings. Go, Joe! Use Wi-Fi in that second classroom.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Kennison Field for this evening's non-conference matchup with our former rival out of the IMC, the Bend Lava Bears, under the direction of first-year head coach Matt Craven, and your Hermiston High Bulldogs, under the direction of Coach Mark Hodges. Fans, at this time, will you please stand and join us in honoring America, as well as our men and women around the world in uniform protecting our freedoms, with the playing of this evening's national anthem by the Hermiston High Marching Band, under the direction of Mr. Paul Dunsmore.
And Duke DeGaetano at the tailback position. 5'9", 185, a senior. He looks like just about every bend tailback we've ever seen. He runs downhill. He runs hard.
Yeah, and you know that's what Hermiston's seen so far from the fullbacks at Sherwood, or basically tailbacks there. Same type of runner, downhill, hard running, hard nose, just like a fullback.
The tight end is Jake Miller. The other tight end or H-back is Connor Scott in the Bend Lava Bears offense. Koski, 46 of 85 for 568, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Let me give you Chase again. 43 of 81 for 579, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Again, almost mirror images for the way that these two teams throw the ball and actually run the ball as far as what production they've had this season. Hermiston also a 3-man front in their 3-4 defense. David Barnett, Colby Alexander at the ends, Jacob Batiste we expect at the nose here tonight. In the secondary, Costa Rodriguez and Preston Mortar guarding the wideouts. Alex Campbell at the rover position and Alex Ortiz at the free safety position. Ramon Contreras at the free safety position. The outside linebackers, Thomas Hamblin and John Kuchar. The inside linebackers, Trent Nanto and Kevin Hammond. Your starting lineups are brought to you by the Stratton Agency. Sonny, your key to the game tonight?
Plugging up the middle. You know, like you said, this tailback likes to, he's a quick hitter, likes to go and make that first cut.
Purple is the official color. It's purple numerals with gold trim on black uniforms, black pants, gold helmets with the purple Hawaii style, now Hermiston style H on the side. Bend Lava Bears, the visitors here tonight. White tops, blue pants, blue numerals trimmed in gold, blue helmets with the yellow paw with Bend written inside of it. That is their logo, because there is no actual character for a lava bear itself.
No, not at all.
At least none that I'm aware of. Maybe I'm wrong, but
maybe years ago, you know, I mean, there is quite a bit of lava down there, and so maybe prehistoric times there could have been a lava bear, but we would have to go back into our a long time.
I didn't pay that close enough attention in science class for that. All right. Hilarity over. Kickoff is on the way. The Bulldogs are kicking away, so Bend is going to start this game off with the ball. At least that is their plan right now. Deep back to receive the kick. They've got Duke DeGaetano to the right, and back on the left for this Bend Lava Bear team is Cameron Reinierson, and it's going to be a low bouncer from Jared Munsterman. Takes a high off. DeGaetano takes it to the 15-yard line, out to the far sideline, 20 and 25, gets away from a tackler. Flag out on the play. Might be a horse color flag here to start the ball game, and so the Bend Lava Bears are going to get pretty good field position here to start the game, and Jonah Koski is going to come out to lead this team, but it's DeGaetano, the tailbacks, and McDonald, the fullback, who are the guys that we will highlight here this evening. For McDonald, he doesn't carry the ball a ton. 20 carries in 4 games for 112 yards. DeGaetano, 82 carries, 432, 3 touchdowns. He has 6 receptions as well. They do throw to him out of the backfield.
Personal foul for the face mask, and unfortunately, but you're exactly right. When they come out of the backfield, look a lot like Hermiston did a few years ago when they had Tyler Green back there coming out of the backfield on a regular basis, receiving back there.
So Hermiston will start with a 15-yard penalty, and it'll put the Lava Bears at the 44-yard line, and a huge run down the left side, way far away, as the Lava Bears get all the way down to the 1-yard line. I looked down, and they ended up making the big run to Dallas Fagan, who we didn't even have as a starter, has not started yet this season for the Lava Bears. They started at their 44-yard line, go all the way down to the 1. It's going to be a 56-yard run to start this game off, and that is exactly what Ben was looking for. So before we even get our paperwork settled, Koski under center with the I formation behind him. DeGaetano dots the I on the 1, 1st and goal. Not quite 30 seconds in, DeGaetano right's got the hole, he's into the end zone, and the Lava Bears have the touchdown lead.
Yeah, that's not what you wanted to see right off the bat by Hermiston. It was almost like they got caught napping out there, and we're not ready for. And Eric, I'm wondering if it was a quick toss out there, kind of a pitch that came outside, because he sure got outside of the containment awful quick.
Yeah, I'd be completely honest, was looking down for that. Joel Johnson's low line drive kick wide left out of the hold of Sam Godlove. So 11:22 on the clock after the miss by Johnson. It has been 6-0. Hermiston essentially is going to start this game on offense, but they're also going to start this game in a 6-point deficit.
Well, and it's really nothing that is coming new. Other than Rex Putnam, we haven't scored first all year, have we?
No, and that was a 2-play, 56-yard drive in 38 seconds that ended up with the DeGaetano touchdown. And now Hermiston's offense is going to try to get themselves in good position. I'll be interested to see exactly what Ben does here in the kicking game. Hermiston dangerousness with their return game. Alex Ortiz to the right at about the 5, and Preston Mortar lined up deep left at his 5-yard line on the left hash mark. Joel Johnson's going to tee the ball up, right-footed kicker for the Lava Bears here. 11:22 on the clock, and Bend strikes first and strikes quickly. We do have just a touch of cloud cover here this evening as we get started, not a breath of wind. And the kick is away over towards Morty. He's going to take it at the 8-yard line, has it off his chest, picks it up at the 11, go down far sideline. He's got some space. He's at the 30, 40, fakes and then goes to the far sideline, pushed out of bounds around midfield. In fact, it is going to be right on the midfield stripe. Mortar did not start that off well, but ended up blowing away from everybody for a 42-yard return.
Well, he picked up that little seam on the far side, the north side of the field, Eric, and got a couple of good blocks. He was trying to set up a third block that could have sprung him, but just couldn't get in behind, tucked in behind that last blocker.
So Chase Knutz under center. He has got Thomas Hamblin, the H-back, to the left. And deep there for Hermiston is going to be Adams. Throw it to the right side. It's going to be Ortiz. He's into Bend territory. Flag out on the play as Ortiz gets down to the 41-yard line.
Call it clear.
Jared Munsterman's palms to the sky as he was the one out wide who is going to get flagged for a block in the back. And it's going to move Hermiston back into their own territory on the first play of the game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It was set up fairly good, to start off for a 9-yard gain. And this is actually just going to be end up being a 9-yard penalty out of it. But essentially, it's too bad. They had the break go their way right early and had to let go of it there.
Penalty takes the ball inside the 45.
First down and 19 now from the 41-yard line. Munsterman wide left, Ortiz right, the short side of the field. Adams, the deep man, takes the hand up, edging left, gets through the secondary into the hands of Rynearson and wrestled down, but not before he gets back to midfield. Cam Rynearson with the tackle, Adams with a 9-yard run.
Well, I tell you what, the rest looks like it's really helped Corey out here because he absolutely carried that defender for about 4 yards.
Two wide left side as Caduce goes under center, 2nd and 10. Hands off Adams, running right to the outside zone, cuts up the middle, runs into some tacklers. Rynearson again in there to help on the stop. With him was Bernstein on the play after a 2-yard gain, and it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 coming up for Hermiston. Caduce, 2 wide left, drop back, looking to throw quickly out there, too high, looking for Ortiz. They were playing soft in the secondary, and Rynearson trying to pump up his team right now, but despite that soft secondary, Caduce was not able to hook up with Ortiz on his first pass of the game. Well, I guess the first pass that's going to go into the stat book because of the penalty on play number 1. And on 4th and 8, Hermiston's punt crew is going to hop out. Jared Munsterman, last time on the field at Sherwood, had a heck of a game punting the ball. He's going to be at his 38-yard line. Good snap to him. He's going to get it away under some pressure, and it will be a fair catch called for, taken by Godlove. And Bend will start with the ball at their 14-yard line. Up 6-0, 10:02 on the clock here in the first quarter.
You know, Eric, that was an excellent punt by Jared. You know, Hermiston's going to do all right. They lacked that penalty out of there, and you're looking at a pretty good field position for Hermiston keeping the drive going. It's something we hope that we're not going to see many more of.
DeGaetano dots the I. McDonald is the fullback, 2 wide to the left side. Troyer in the slot, Connell out wide. Short side of the field with the ball in the left hash mark. Koski seeing pressure up the middle from Anto. It comes. It's going to be a handoff. No play action. Roll out to the right. Dump it off. Miller's got it, the tight end. First down and more up to the 30-yard line. Wrestled down out there by Alex Campbell after a gain of 16 yards.
And Miller come up, hobbled a little bit. Looked like he might have twisted his ankle that time just a bit. But hobbled off the field.
Well, first down and 10 at the 30-yard line. 9:51 on the clock here for the Lava Bears. Up 6-0 at Hermiston. Cody Connell, who's got 6 receptions for 94 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns, is wide to the right. Logan Troyer comes left. He's also got 6 catches and 2 touchdowns on the season. Koski. Long count, calls it, gives it to DeGaetano, gets it to the second level and brought down at the 35-yard line, right in the middle of the park. Anto in there on the stop along with Contreras. Ramon Contreras getting the start at the free safety position, the 5'8", 155-pound junior, along with Anto, who's starting in the defense, and so that's why he didn't get the start of the offense there. But, again, Adams and Anto really A and B. There's no starter and backup in the running backs for Hermiston. There is a starter. It's DeGaetano for Bend. He's deep on the I formation. 2nd and 5. Quick throw out to the right into the hands of Troyer. Troyer forward, gets the first down and up to the 45-yard line as he's tripped up on the far sideline by Preston Mortar for another Bend first down.
About a 10-yard gain that time, Eric, on that play. And, you know, that's what I'm thinking that maybe we might have missed, but that might have been a quick toss out there. But we'll have to reconfirm with Joe as we go along. But he's very quick and very accurate getting rid of that pass out to the corners there.
6-0 Bend, 8:42 on the clock in the first quarter. I formation as Koski goes under center from the 45. 2 wide left. Goes back, hands off to DeGaetano behind the left guard, gets stuffed after a 1-yard gain on the play. In there to help, Colby Alexander makes the stop along with John Kuchar. The outside linebacker is one of the taller linebackers for Hermiston at 6 feet 2 inches tall and 190 pounds, and he is a fireball as far as emotions out there on the field for Hermiston.
Yeah, Eric, right now, Hermiston's just getting beat off the ball a little bit on the first series, coming off the ball well now.
2nd and 9 from the 41. Koski hands up to the McDonald. He is stuffed immediately. They don't give it to him a ton. And Hermiston was able to catch that trap play. It's one of the things they're looking out for is the trap to the fullback, and it gets stopped for no gain, actually loss of a yard on the play, and brings up a 3rd down and 10 from the Bend 45.
Well, that's a key, Eric. If we can go ahead and get the pressure right up the middle and, take care of that initial block up there, that is where it all starts.
They're going to bring another wide receiver on. It's Judson Wetzel out wide to the right. Now in motion, Sammy Godlove, left to right. Shotgun set for Koski. Straight drop, under pressure, screen play, dumps it off, out of the grasp. It's DeGaetano upfield. He's got space at the 40, 35, 30, near sideline, 20, 15, 10, 5. It is a touchdown, but there's a flag out back at the 41-yard line for the Lava Bears. A block in the back is going to be called on Bend.
Yeah, that is, when you consider where he got the pass play to, that was about a 14-yard reception there, and the actual penalty came 14 yards downfield in the middle, and DeGaetano was already gone by that time.
Well, he was in and out of the grasp of, I believe, well, I don't want to speculate. I didn't see who had him back there. It looked like dead to rights. And right out of the arms, I think it was David Barnett, but I'm not positive. The block in the back moves it back to the 49-yard line, so Hermiston gets to try again on 3rd down and longish at 3rd and 6. Left hash mark set. Wetzel wide right, but going to come tight to the formation, as is Connell to the left. Tight ends both sides. Offset backfield, play action, rolling right, under pressure. Barnett trips him up, and then Hamblin finishes him off. And then a flag comes out on the play, as it looked like Kuchar jumped on there as Koski was going down, and they're going to call a roughing the passer penalty.
Now that I don't agree with, Eric. He was being blocked most of the way into that also, and that's just not a good penalty to make on that, on aggressive play and being blocked halfway into it.
Well, they're going to protect the quarterback, I guess, and that's going to give a 1st down to the Lava Bears. Into Hermiston territory to the 43-yard line. 6:42 on the clock here in the first period. 6-0 Bend. I formation behind Koski, McDonald, then DeGaetano. DeGaetano takes the handoff running right, nowhere to go. Doesn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage as Anto comes in and makes the stop.
Gain of maybe no. Tackle for no gain. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 11 coming up for the Lava Bears. The nose of the ball is just short of the Hermiston 44-yard line on the right hash. Connell wide left, only receiver in the formation. Koski takes a snap, quick throw to Connell, out to left side. He's going to try to get away from the man, and Costa Rodriguez has him stop, but not before Connell gets down to the 39-yard line. Give him a 5-yard gain on the play.
Costa Rodriguez.
Left Thunder Frog, 26 power.
Midway through the first quarter now, and the Lava Bears scored after 2 plays in this game. Into Hermiston territory, facing another 3rd and long, this time 3rd and 6 from the 39. Connell wide right. Power formation in for Bend as Connor Scott motions left to right behind the formation. Koski takes a snap. DeGaetano takes the handoff running right and right down to the ground, into the arms and to the ground of David Barnett with the tackle.
40 down to about the 38.
Good call. Good call.
Barnett.
Hey, good try.
Gain of 2, and they're going to change the punt crew out on a 4th and 5. So Bend is going to play field position here with the ball at the Hermiston 38-yard line. Joel Johnson's the punter, and the kicker does the extra points for the Lava Bears as well, and he can boot the ball. High snap. Johnson gets it, gets the right foot kick away, and shanks it out towards his sideline. It's going to go out of bounds, and it is going to be maybe the line of scrimmage. as the officials try to work to figure out where that ball went out. It didn't even get to the line of scrimmage. In fact, Ben's going to lose a yard on the play. Hermiston's going to have it on the 39-yard line.
You know, Eric, that sounded awful. You know, they changed balls on that kick there, and it just didn't sound like, you know, I don't know if you could hear it or not, it didn't have the thump. So I don't know if it was just a shank, if he almost missed his foot completely, or, you know, whatever on it.
First down and 10, handoff. It's going to be Adams coming left. He gets stuffed by the pile and wrestled down out wide by Justin Wetzel. The outside linebacker has 18, now 19 tackles on the season, and Adams ends up losing a yard on the rush.
Adams on the carry for the Bulldogs, lost about a yard.
4:14 on the clock here in the first period. Bend 6, Hermiston nothing. The Bulldogs no huddle. Handoff, Adams coming right. He's got some space. He's at the 40, cuts back to the middle of the field and tripped up at the 44-yard line. 5-yard gain for Corey. I don't know if he keeps coming wide, if there's more space out there, Sonny.
It looks like it. I think if he wouldn't have cut back in, he had the corner because he had a good blocker on the outside the corner there.
3rd and 5. Ortiz wide left, Munstrom into the right. Adams straight up the gut with the handoff, and he's going to get stopped in the backfield. In there to make the tackle is big number 5'5" for the Bend Lava Bears, Jacob Curry, a 6-foot, 190-pound senior. And so Bend is going to get the ball back on a Hermiston punt on 4th and 4 coming up after no gain. Jared Munsterman back to punt. Sammy Godlove is going to be standing on his 15. Now he's being urged upwards to the 20-yard line. He was a little too deep there. Munsterman on his 30. Good snap. Punt is away and booted. A little wobbler. Godlove's going to get away. It's going to take a bounce and go Hermiston direction inside the 15, inside the 10, and will come to a stop at about the 8-yard line. Munsterman boots the ball. A deep one there. It ends up going 48 yards for Hermiston, and Bend has it 1st down and 10 from about their 8.
Jared's had 2 excellent punts so far. You know, did a great job that time getting the ball tip up in the air, and even though it was wobbling like that, it was still, when the ball got to the peak and came down, you know, that tip of the ball came down first and was able to kick it forward towards the Hermiston end zone.
2:59 on the clock. Bend takes over, 1st down and 10 from the 8-yard line, up 6-0. Koski directing traffic. Donald nowhere to go. It's stuffed again by Hermiston. That is just not a successful play right now for the Lava Bears. Handing off to McDonald. They give him a yard on the play.
Gain of about a yard, 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 coming up. Ben does take time off the clock. Their last drive ended up going 5 minutes and 31 seconds. Koski takes a handoff, gives it to DeGaetano going out right. No, Koski keeps it rolling to left. He's got some space. He's at the 15 and gets upended. He had receivers out there, and none of them wanted to block anybody, so Koski had to do it all himself. But it was a good run. It's going to go for 70 yards and bring up a 3rd down and 2. Koski doesn't run a ton. That's his 4th carry of the season. He's got just 20 yards rushing. Under 2 minutes left here in the first period. Bend 6, Hermiston 0. DeGaetano's going to dot the I behind McDonald as Koski goes under center with wide outs to each side. And now motioning right to left is Troyer. So Troyer out there in the slot with Connell out wide. Play action, rolling right, throws it into the flat. It's going to be out to the tight end. Scotty gets the 1st down and rumbles forward, out wide to the 24-yard line. Going to go for about 8 and a 1st down. Jacob Harmon in on the stop for Hermiston. And Bend extends their drive. 90 seconds left here in the first period, just about. Nose of the ball just short of the 25-yard line on the right hash mark. Connell wide right. 1st and 10, handoff DeGaetano. He edges back to his right in the middle, gets stuffed just short of the 30-yard line, about a 5-yard gain.
Tackle just shy of the 30.
Barnett and Batiste in on the stop. Barnett's the defensive end on the defensive left side Colby Alexander's on the right, and right now it is Jacob Batiste at the nose tackle position. Head-on head with the center, Mitchell Cutter for Bend. 2nd and 5. Koski takes a snap, straight drop, looking to throw left. He'll throw it out into the flat, too low, incomplete, looking for Connell. Costa Rodriguez on the coverage, but the pass was never going to get to Cody Connell.
Yeah, you know, and Eric, we're really respecting him. Costa's really respecting the outside receiver's speed that time, and maybe a little too much, because he is coming back off the ball and giving him about, 7 to 10 yards on the snap, and getting a good drive out of that receiver.
That was the first downfield throw of the ball game for Joe Nikoski. 3rd and a long 5, no play action, looking to throw left, deep down the field, jump ball off of the hands of Alex Campbell, who was the closest to catching a ball that was intended for the fullback Hunter McDonald. 4th down and 5, and the Bend punt crew is back out on the field.
That time, nice job by Alex Campbell following that fullback coming out of the backfield like that. And I'll tell you, he did an excellent job staying all the way with him.
So Joel Johnson is back to receive his 15-yard line on the 4th and 5. High snap. Barnett's covering. He's got the block. Hermiston's got the ball, and it's going to be Munsterman who picks it up and is tackled at the 14-yard line. The high snap, and it was actually Kuchar who got the ball, not Munsterman. He picked it up and tried to rumble a bit. He was brought down by Bend at the 14-yard line. David Barnett with the punt block.
Oh, that was an excellent job. He almost had it the first punt, Eric. A little earlier in the quarter, he came very, very close to being able to get to it. This time there, he just beat Bend off the edge. And that thing, if he would have been ready for it, he could have caught it in midair and gone in himself.
24 seconds left. Knutz to throw deep into the corner. Ortiz to the end zone. He does not have it, knocked out by Godlove on the coverage. That's how they got onto the board at Sherwood in their last game 2 weeks ago, was that lob into the corner, and Godlove's got to get credit for the play he made on the ball.
Well, Eric, I tell you what, run the same pattern and drag Barnett across. That middle was wide open coming off the right side.
Munsterman and Ortiz wide left, hand off Adams. Adams runs right into the middle blocker, still stepping up to fill the hole. Adams gets a couple before Reinierson stops him. 3rd down and 8's going to come up, and it is going to be the down and distance for Hermiston to start the 2nd quarter. End of the 1st, Bend 6, Hermiston nothing. The teams have traded punts of the last 4 possessions. 2nd quarter's coming up after this on 1360 KOHU.
So you're driving through the countryside when you run over the tail of a porcupine sitting on the side of the road. Luckily, every car or pickup tire that Les Schwab sells comes with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you. Along with great prices, we give you free flat repairs and more for the entire life of the tire. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952. No porcupines were harmed in the making of this commercial. Come in now and get a great deal at our fall tire sale. Hurry, our biggest sale of the year ends October 31st.
Turn off your radio to experience what it was like before we had electricity.
In fact, turn off your lights too. Then you'll see how things were before electric co-ops, like the one you live in, brought power out to everyone in America. If that hadn't happened, you wouldn't be hearing this broadcast. So leave your radio on and go to togetherwesave.com to learn how you can save money now and save energy for the future.
Umatilla Electric Cooperative, your Touchstone member cooperative, making life better for their members.
KOHU, Hermiston.
So Bend threw that first punch there just 30 seconds into the ball game and jump out in front 6-0. That's where we stand right now as we start the 2nd quarter. Eric Olson and Sonny Levy with you. 1360 KOHU for the coverage. Hermiston is facing a 3rd down and 8 from the Bend 13-yard line after the David Barnett punt block sets Hermiston up in golden field position.
Yeah, they just got to get this thing going, Eric. Get their offensive line firing up out of the middle there.
Alex Ortiz going to be the lone receiver in the formation, wide left. Anto is the deep man on this play. He's the bruiser back. Takes the handoff, and he is stopped and nowhere to go, and he pitches it back to Knutz. Knutz in the backfield is in trouble, and he's going to be dropped back at around the 20-yard line. Hermiston trying to go scramble and miracle play and end up losing a bundle. And if anything, it might have pushed Hermiston back out of field goal range. Well, no, Ramon Contreras is going to come out, and he will try one here. About a half-minute gone to this ball game. I guess you like the creativity, but at the same time, you don't like the danger by trying to pitch that ball back.
No, you know, and Knutz did a good job of trying to get it, but he shouldn't have danced. He should have just went ahead and tried to punch it forward. 39-yard kick. It is up. It has got the distance. It is through. Contreras pounds one, and Hermiston is on the board. Ramon Contreras took over the PAT duties. Essentially, as Mark Hodges says jokingly, Jared Munsterman got fired from kicking duties in the field goal and PAT game at Sherwood. Contreras came on, kicked the ball fine, and he just pounded that ball to put Hermiston on the board. 6-3, 11:07 on the clock in the second quarter. I like that part of the game too, Eric. You know, that's got to start making them respect that, you know, Hermiston knows now that they can kick for three. And, you know, the unfortunate thing, the Hermiston offense is still kind of sputtering a little bit. Their offensive line is not getting the drive up the middle like we're accustomed to. Maybe it's just some of the stunts, or maybe they're gapping us right now. But we've got to go ahead and get that 2 to 3 yard drive up the middle to go ahead and get Adams and Anto just a little bit more room to make their cuts.
So it's a 3-point game now, and special teams has played an integral role. Contreras the field goal from 39 yards out, and each team with a pair of punts in the first quarter. Jared Munsterman to kick it away. The right-footed kick is up, and it's driven deep towards the end zone. DeGaetano will let it bounce up and through the end zone. 20-yard line start for the Lava Bears. Now, Munsterman has not been fired from that part of the kicking game.
No, he's got the big leg for there. You know, when he can line it up and set up and run into it, I tell you, he has got a booming leg, whether he's punting or whether he's kicking off. Contreras, though, has the quicker, strong leg for that good punch for the field goals.
And right now, he's got confidence doing it. 11:07, Bend 6, Hermiston 3. Bend hasn't scored since about 12 minutes of game clock ago. Joe Nikoski's going under center, I formation behind him, wide receivers to each side on 1st and 10 from the 20. Koski, long count, takes a snap, hands off DeGaetano, running left, bounces out to the outside, now cuts back to the middle. He's got some space at the 30. 35, cuts back away from Amblin and is crossed the 40-yard line to the 41. DeGaetano runs for 21 yards for the Lava Bears.
Boy, that time there, Barnett was right on his heels as he made the cut, and then just kind of had a little bit extra burst of speed to get away from Barnett, and the rest of the team kind of over-pursued on the outside and allowed him to go ahead and cut back up in.
First down and 10 from the 41-yard line. Left hash mark set, and a timeout coming for the Bend Lava Bears. 10:46 on the clock here in the second quarter. Bend 6, Hermiston 3, and we'll take a break on 1360 KOHU.
In 1945, A.E. Sherrill opens his first Chevrolet dealership in Arlington, Oregon. 67 years later, Sherrill Chevrolet is still doing business. Family-owned and locally operated, keeping your dollars here in the community. Thank you to all of our valuable customers and friends. We will keep treating you right and making new friends. Here's to another 67 years of good service and community service. Sherrill Chevrolet, Hermiston. Chevy runs deep.
First Community Credit Union is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Since 1957, First Community has served communities like ours with the same commitment and same mission, to provide our community with dependable financial solutions, because where we live, community comes first. Visit myfirstccu.org or your local branch for financial solutions you can trust. First Community Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender.
KOHU, Hermiston.
Play action. action for Bend on 1st and 10 out of the timeout. Lob down, and it is going to be called a incompletion by De Gaetano. Got him on the wheel route after the play action coming out of the backfield, but De Gaetano could not hook up with Koski. 2nd and 10 on the way. 10:39 on the clock here, second quarter. Bend 6, Hermiston 3 at Kettison Field tonight.
Eric got a little bit of clarification on that first play of the game. Was a good little hook and ladder. It was a quick toss out and a pitch to the following
De Gaetano, who's got the ball now, breaks away across midfield into Hermiston territory, has the first down up to the 46-yard line. He's breaking through arms here and getting second and third efforts and plenty of yards after contact.
That's the key. You said he's breaking through arm tackles, Eric, and it's not with a back like these guys are facing. It's not that hard to do when you're trying to tackle straight up with the arms.
8th first down for for Bend against Hermiston from the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Koski takes the snap, hands off. De Gaetano running left behind the guard, gets stuffed. He gets forward to the 45-yard line. Give it a yard on the rush. In there for Hermiston on the stop, Barnett and Kevin Hauman on the stop. The senior, the leading tackler for this team. Bruised shoulder, but I mean, once you get out there and you get the juices flowing, you're not going to remember that too much.
No, you're going to start feeling better about yourself, about everything else that's going on.
2nd and 9 from the 45-yard line, right in the middle of the park right now with the ball for Koski as he goes under center. The Bend senior quarterback takes the snap, no play action, rolling right, trouble. He is going to be sacked. Back at the 42-yard line, rushing off of the edge. That time it was Thomas Hamblin with the sack.
Yeah, nice job by Thomas, just absolutely firing off out there and getting back into the Bend backfield.
Loss of 13 yards on the play, and Bend is facing a 3rd down at a country mile. Their 43 need to get to the Hermiston 37-yard line. About a 3rd, and actually they need to get 20 yards here. Shotgun set for Koski. 2 wide left, a man alone to the right. Running back standing to his left. Low snap, picked up. Koski looking to throw. Hucks it downfield, far sideline, way too far, incomplete. Costa Rodriguez closest to it. Justin Wetzel was the intended receiver. On the Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard, it's St. Helens 10, Hood River Valley 7 early in the second quarter. Pendleton up 7-0 over Baker after a quarter of play over the Roundup grounds. The 2 other games going on for Columbia River Conference teams tonight. The Dalles Watauga has the night off. 8:49, Joel Johnson is back to punt. Preston Mortar to receive. A good punt from Johnson. Mortar calls for a fair catch, and he muffs it, but there's a flag out on the play. It's picked up by Rynierson. He's into the end zone for Bend, but that is going to be a penalty on the Lava Bears for a shove in the back of a Hermiston defender, Hermiston blocker coming down. He got pushed right in the back and right into the feet of a Mortar as he was trying to receive the punt.
Well, we'll see. We got the lead official, Mr. Gillette, out there, and I'm sure they're going to iron this out. But you're exactly right. You have to give the receiver ample opportunity, and if it's a clip,
well, you can't push somebody in the back. Is where the flag comes out.
Well, you would hope. You would hope on this, and right now we'll see what exactly they're going to call on it.
So Pendleton's got an early lead over in the Roundup grounds. Bend leads Hermiston 6-3, and Hood River Valley is down by 3. Wilsonville, I got this one wrong, is routing Mountain View 28-3 with a minute left in the first quarter. Also in the Tri-Cities, Richland 7, Kamayakin zip with 2:26 left in the first quarter of play. All on your Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard. Oh, and here's one from Billy Gates. Culver 0, Vernonia 7 after a quarter of play. The sports editor of the Madras Pioneer.
That doesn't exist. That penalty doesn't exist.
So the flag is out on the play, and now George Gillette is going to have a conversation with the coaching staff for Bend. In fact, It is quite a coaching staff conversation taking place. The ball ball is coming back to the other end of the field, in fact, to the original line of scrimmage. Matt Craven is the first-year head coach. He's in his 16th year as a football coach at the high school level. 8th year at Bend. For the last 3, he's been the offensive line and outside linebackers coach for Craig Walker, who is the athletic director. And in fact, is he roaming the sidelines? No, I haven't picked him out yet. I'll keep trying to see if former Coach Walker is here. Bend 6, Hermiston 3, and they bring it all the way back.
Only on the Hood River do we get 5 downs and a block in the back.
All right, block in the back is the indication. Block of the back into the back of the receiving team. And so Bend is apparently going to punt again, 4th down and 20 from the 43-yard line.
Well, it couldn't have been a block in the back by the receiving team.
Well, of the block in the back of the receiving team, apparently.
Yeah.
And for Hermiston, an adjustment to receive it. It's Alex Ortiz. He's got some space. Coming near sideline. Gets away from a tackler at the 30. 35, he sheds another tackler. Upfield at the 40. 45, steps out of bounds. Right around the Hermiston 45-yard line on second punt chance opportunity after that block in the back penalty against Bend that I guess we'll call a penalty with no yardage, because that's essentially what it was. But at the same time, if you're Bend, you'd argue, well, no, it was actually a penalty for 6 points and 63 yards.
Yeah.
Hermiston from the 45-yard line. 8:32 on the clock. Chase Knutz under center, takes it, hands off. Anto coming to the left, breaks away, he's across midfield. 45 at a stiff arm, he's at the 40, runs right over the top of a secondary tackler, all the way down to the Bend 37-yard line. The tackle was made by Godlove on the play, and it was Connor Scott who got left in the turf after the right hand of Trenton Anto shoved him away.
Nice 18-yard run there. That was a heck of a stiff arm. You know, that planted him right there, stopped him in his steps.
So into Bend territory, 1st down and 10 from the 37 for Hermiston. Straight drop, Knutz to throw wide to Ortiz, who comes and catches it, and he's going to get stopped. Essentially no gain on the play. Nice job out wide to make the stop by Brody Hadley, the cornerback, who is a senior. He's about as tall as Ortiz, an inch shorter at 6 feet 1 inch, and he's given up about 30 pounds at 165.
Eric, that is just taking too long to get rid of and developing out there, and they're making a very good read off the stand out there.
Under 8 minutes left here in the second quarter. Hermiston down by 3. Hand off to Anto. Anto stopped, kind of a draw play, and he is going to be brought to the turf there by Fagan and Curry. And so gain of a yard, 3rd and 9 for Hermiston. Trying not to have this drive go all for naught. From the 36-yard line, Knutz 2 wide, left side, Ortiz and Munsterman. Barnett the tight end right. Knutz, play action, rolling left, some pressure, throws to the sideline. It's going to be Ortiz who reaches back behind and catches it. He's at the 20, 15, and he's reached and brought down from behind by Wetzel in the middle of the field. Not before the 1st down. The DB fell down. Ortiz made a tremendous catch because it was not a good throw from Knutz, and Hermiston's drives extended after a great play from the senior Alex Ortiz.
Nice 23-yard gain that time, Eric, and exactly like you said, that was a great pickup on almost sliding to the ground and then keeping his balance.
6-3 Bend, 7 minutes left in the first half. 1 wide receiver, it's Cole Smith, the sophomore, wide left. 2 tights into the formation. Knutz is going to motion Hamblin right to left behind the formation. Handoff, play action. They're going to dump it off. It's going to be Hamblin. He's got the 15, 10, far sideline, 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Hermiston.
Eric, nice play action pass that time, and in fact to Hamblin, and nice job of getting outside and taking it on in for 6.
6 minutes, 42 seconds left on the clock here in the second quarter. Bulldogs with the lead. And now Ramon Contreras, who's got the 39-yard field goal to attempt the chip shot extra point. Out of the hold of Austin Monahan. Tough snap, flag out on the play. And the kick never really got up. It was Herminio Alvarado, with the hold, and he never got that ball set. And essentially, it was Contreras trying to kick a moving and bouncing and sideways ball. And the flag on the play. Now, George Gillette is talking with Bend, so I assume it's going to come against Hermiston here. And I assume it's going to be declined. It's a false start against Hermiston. But if it's a false start, it's a pre-snap penalty, I thought. But Bend is elected to decline it. 6:42 on the clock. It is Hermiston 9, Bend 6. And Hermiston's going to set up and kick off after this on 1360 KOHU.
Hermiston Glass is your local one-stop glass shop. From window and screen repair to complete replacement of old drafty windows and torn-up screens. And they service more than just residential home windows, commercial storefronts, desk and tabletop glass, even auto glass. If it's glass, Hermiston Glass can handle it. They can even help lower your energy costs this winter by keeping the cold air out with new energy-efficient windows. Hermiston Glass, your one-stop glass shop. CCB 147211.
There's nothing like the excitement of a high school game. It's the best entertainment in town. Support our area schools. Go to the games and see our student athletes in action. Now that's entertainment. Old West Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. When you grow, we grow. KOHU, Hermiston.
There's a penalty marker on the play, and now all but two of this Blue Mountain officiating crew are talking with the law firm of Bend coaching staff right now on the far sideline around the 30-yard line. And it sounds to me, we can hear because we're right next to the Bend coaching staff in the open box. And the first thing I heard was, oh my goodness, he kicked Bailey out of the game. And so the question is that Brett Bailey, the defensive coordinator, or is that Kyle Bailey, their linebacker? I would assume it's Brett, but we still got to see. The officials are sorting things out on the far sideline, and the conversation continues here. Hermiston's coming off of that touchdown. A very nice play. It is a play-action play that we've seen before on two-point conversions where they move the H-back to the left, play action like it's going to be a run to the left side, and then the H-back flattens back out into the right.
Thank you very much. Don't do that again. That's very unprofessional.
And we've got... It was a play out into the flat, and so Hamblin was able to clear out and end up getting into the end zone there. Now we wait here for the description of what's going on. And it is a 15-yard personal, unsportsmanlike. And there's been an ejection.
The indication is unsportsmanlike.
And it's going to move it to the 45-yard line.
From the game.
And there's been an ejection, and we don't know who it is. And Jared Munsterman has the ball teed up.
I was trying to get you guys.
Munsterman kicked this one through the end zone. Bend is set up in case there's an onside, but Munsterman's just going to boot this away. And I'll go out of the back of the end zone. It's going to be on the 20-yard line. 6:41 on the clock here. It is Hermiston 9, Bend 6.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And so Bend's offense is going to come back out onto the field. Ended up punting the ball away after a sack their last time. 6:41 on the clock here in the second quarter. And we've got Joe Nikoski under center. Straight drop, looking to throw left side. He'll get it out into the flat. Connell's got it there wide across the numbers and tripped up at the 25-yard line. It's going to be a 5-yard gain and then a penalty flag out on the play. And we've seen a lot of laundry here tonight. So 5-yard gain on the play. And the penalty came from the far sideline where the tackle was made at about the 25, right on top of the numbers. 6:28 on the clock as we wait for an explanation. Unsportsmanlike against Bend.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Bend.
And now Bend is huddled up on the far sideline. And Matt Craven's trying to get an explanation. He's got the officials around him here, just trying to figure out what's going on. And I don't know if he's getting the answers he's wanting, and it's going to be a penalty that pulls it back to the
15 and
about the 12-yard line. So a half the distance penalty.
Spotted at about the
We're waiting for them to march it off.
What's your take on 20?
And so it is going to be the 12.
What's your take on
inside the 10 and about the 9.
First down and 20 to go. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty. Clock spinning, 6:25 left. Koski under center. Flings it out into the right wing. It's going to be caught by Troyer. Troyer trying to get wide, and he'll be brought down by Preston Mortar at the 11-yard line. It is amazing to think that that senior has not played tackle football until this season started. Gain of 1. 2nd and 19 coming up.
11-yard line. 2nd and 18.
Two wide left side. 2nd and 19 is the time. 5:40 in the clock. Split backs behind Koski. Hands off. It's going to be a sweep play to the right. And Wetzel is tripped up. He got tripped up, tangled up with, it looked like McDonald, who was lined out wide right. So the feet of the teammates get tangled, and that's going to trip up Wetzel after a gain of just 2. And so it's 3rd down and about 16 coming up. Make it 17. A little more than 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. 9-6, Hermiston's advantage.
The down should be 3rd.
Should be 3rd down right now.
Okay, how about talking about us? Your management sucks, George.
But Ben's got the punt crew out here. They switched it to 4th. They should be 3rd because of the personal foul penalty.
It is 4th down.
So make it 4th down.
And 16. Wow.
And 16. In his own end zone. Johnson to kick it away, got it blocked last time, boots this one really well. Ortiz calls for a fair catch, drifting back, drops it, picks it up, and it is going to be Hermiston's ball at the 46-yard line.
Bulldog 47-yard line.
Dropped it, it bounced, and he picked it up, and so that's where Hermiston takes over here. 4:57 on the clock in the second quarter. Hermiston 9, Bend 6. Knutz goes under center. Anto the deep man. 2 wide right side. Play action. Dump it back off. Anto into the flat to the left. He's got some space into Bend territory. He's at the 40 down the far sideline. He's got a blocker in front of him. Martinez runs past the guy he should block, though. And then it is going to be a stop. Anto gets knocked out of bounds by Joel Johnson at the 9-yard line. Damien's there. All he's got to do is turn around and hit Johnson to spring Anto. But either way, it's a really good play for Hermiston to get it to the 10-yard line.
43-yard play that time, Eric.
So 4:46 left here in the second quarter, 9-6, and it's going to be a handoff. Adams running left, gets a couple. Flag out on the play from behind the play as Adams ran up left side to about the 70-yard line. But it's going to be a holding penalty against Hermiston, so bring it back a few. 4:41 on the clock, second quarter. Bulldogs down by 3. And their holding penalty bring it back to the 20-yard line now, first and goal. Ortiz and Munsterman wide right. Hamblin and Adams in the backfield. Adams just about 4 yards deep. Canute straight drop, looking to throw. Lobs it into the corner. Jump ball for Ortiz. He reaches up, he catches it, he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Over Hadley's shoulder into Ortiz's arms for a 20-yard touchdown pass from Canute to Ortiz. So Hermiston extends their lead and will try to make it a 10-point ball game. Last extra point, no, actually Canute's is still out there. They're going to go for 2. Last extra point, bad snap. Alvarado couldn't get it teed up. Canute's, Adams behind him. Ortiz alone wide right. And it's going to be a handoff. Adams coming left, cuts upfield, puts his shoulder down, gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That is going to extend Hermiston's lead to 11. 17-6 the score, 4:26 on the clock in the second quarter. Hermiston obviously benefiting here from a couple of different frustrating situations for Bend. And I don't blame them for being frustrated because I'm not entirely convinced they really know what's going on here. I don't really know what's going on either.
No, I mean, it's just been a comedy of what you can say, maybe replacements. I don't know, Eric. It's a situation where the calls that were being made just didn't match up with what the play was, and not knowing what exactly had happened on the far sideline extended that drive out there for Hermiston by bringing it back after the touchdown. Who knows right now?
Well, and the weird thing was the ejection came after an essentially blocked extra point where Hermiston got called for a false start. So 17-6, Hermiston's on top with 4:26 left in the second quarter. Jared Munsterman to kick it away. DeGaetano to the right, Bailey to the left. And it is going to be towards DeGaetano. He'll take it about the 3-yard line, coming to his left now, edges back to his right, the 10-15. Trying to get outside, he does it. The numbers just short of the 20 is where he's going to get stopped. And Sterling Hall on the play.
A big hit. That time he met him straight up and was trying to go ahead and get a stiff arm going in, Eric. And Sterling came in from the side and just put the big hit on him.
1st and 10, Lava Bears.
First down and 10. For Bend, it's going to be a right hash mark set here. Ball just short of the 20-yard line. After a 17-yard return by Duke DeGaetano, their senior tailback. Cody Connell wide left along with Logan Troyer. Troyer's going to be in the slot, both tight to the formation and close to each other at the hash marks. Straight drop, throw over to the left side. It's going to be the hands of Connell. Comes back to the middle now. Edges back out to the left. He'll get down across the 25-yard line up to about the 27. And it's going to be a play to Connell for about 70 yards.
Yeah, nice job that time by Connell. He was almost tied up there and then took that arm bar and threw it across and shoved the tackler off. And there again, Eric, we were trying to arm tackle out there where you can't do that.
Second down and 2. It's going to be a handoff. Degatano coming to the right, edges out, gets away from a tackler at the 30. Trying to get outside the numbers at the 35. He'll be wrestled down to the 30-70-yard line. Flag out on the play here. Mortar came in late after the tackle by Jacob Harmon, and I think this is going to go against Hermiston after a gain of 5. Defensive coordinator David Faitete signaling the defense while at the same time trying to get an explanation. It's going to be a horse collar tackler, and so it is a 15-yard penalty against Hermiston. It is their 4th penalty, albeit though for 50 yards in this game.
Yeah,
Ben penalized 4 times for 40 yards. And there have been a couple of penalties. Ben was penalized once and there was no yardage. It was on that weird punt play. So the moves the ball up to the Hermiston 49-yard line. Right hash mark still. 2 wide to the left side for Koski as he goes under center. Tight end motions left to right. Scott gets set again. Koski long count. Blitz showing up the middle. Hands off Degatano, running right behind the tackle. Gets up to the 46-yard line. A 3-yard gain. 9th first down. No, make it the 10th first down of the game for Bend.
Eric, this Degatano is a good-looking runner up the middle. Like you said, he likes to run north and south and hit hard.
2nd and 7. And it's going to be a straight drop. Koski to throw left side. It's going to be in and out of the hands of Connell after it's almost picked off by Alex Campbell, who read the play and tried to jump the route. Had he caught it, he was gone, but through Connell's hands, incompletion. 3rd and 7 on the way.
You know, they've been running that play, that very quick 2-step and step back and wait for that little toss. That time there they did, and Campbell read it well. Bad thing about it is when they start seeing it, it could be for the stop and go.
17-6 Hermiston, 2:55 on the clock, 3rd and 7. Koski hands off. Degatano running right and runs right into the grasp of a couple of Bulldogs there to the 43-yard line, about a 5-yard gain. Jacob Batiste and Thomas Hamblin in on the stop, and Hermiston will call a timeout to stop the clock with 2:42 left, and Bend facing a 4th down and 5.
Well, to say the least, Eric, it's been interesting and hard to figure this out. I don't know what what's going on, but there's been many games where we've said the same thing as we're seeing right now. You know, it's hard to, it's a high school football, figuring it out. They'll get it all ironed out. We'll know about it later, but, you know, Hermiston right now has got the momentum. They're playing hard. They're playing smash mouth out front. They're getting some, not so good penalties right now, but they're excited, and they've kind of taken the energy in this game.
Yeah, obviously, none of the people directly involved, i.e. Bend and Hermiston, would think this right now. I don't think that the guys in stripes are doing anything intentionally or maliciously. I think that they're trying hard, and this game's moving pretty quickly. These two teams are moving pretty fast. The one thing is, because unlike a college or a professional game, the head official's not microphoned, you don't necessarily know what's going on. Bend is going to go for it out of this timeout. 4th down and 5 from the Hermiston 44-yard line. Koski under center, 2 wide left side, and he got Hermiston to jump. That's exactly what they came out for, was the hard count, and it worked out perfectly as Hermiston jumped on a couple of different positions on the defensive line and gives Bend the 5 yards. Now the question is it enough? And it is. 1st down for Bend.
Here we go. Hey, Bombers 5, Bombers 5.
Hermiston's coaches want a measurement. And so it is across the 39-yard line. And I guess the ball needed to get across the 39. It did. So 1st down and 10 for Bend. Their 11th first down of the ball game. After the 5-yard penalty against Hermiston, their 5th of the game. 2:42 on the clock here in the second quarter. 17-6 is Hermiston's 11-point advantage. 3 wide left side with Godlove closest to the formation. Koski just Gaetano behind him. Takes a snap, straight drop, looking to throw, left throws it, nobody there. As somebody ran a different route than Koski expected, so an incompletion and a 2nd and 10 on the way.
That time again, got very good pressure on the quarterback up the middle and off the right side of the Hermiston defensive end there. And, you know, that's the key. We got to get that pressure coming off the ball. Barnett back in his face again, and I would let him run again right now.
Cody Connell wide left, Logan Troyer to the right, short side of the formation with the ball on the right hash mark, 7 and 10. Koski takes a snap, straight drop play, hands off. DeGaetano's got some space, bounces away from a tackler, and is brought down at the 34-yard line. Tripped up by Campbell, finished off by Alexander, and it's going to be a 5-yard gain, 3rd and 5 on the way. 2:20 left here in the first half. And Bend will shorten the game. They do definitely take their time in between plays. 1 wide each side, I formation, play action. Koski to throw to the left side, incomplete, looking for McDonald. Hunter McDonald was wide open. Alex Campbell was close, but not that close. McDonald would have been off to the races had he had the catch. 4th down and 5 for Bend with 2:01 left.
And that time, Eric, we got kind of caught up, and Campbell actually started to come up looking like on the play action to take a little fake, and then had to try and catch back up on the play.
Connell and Wetzel wide left, and Logan Troyer is the receiver to the right. Shotgun set for Koski on 4th down and 5 from the 39. DeGaetano stands to his left. Koski takes a snap. Look at a throw. Right side towards the sideline. It's going to be incomplete for Troyer. He had created separation with the cutback from Mortar, but it's going to be a turnover on downs. Hermiston with the ball at their 39-yard line with 1:57 left and a 17-6 lead.
Eric, I'd like to see the set-out trips right now for Hermiston out wide and just let our speed go out and have Jason, you know, have Mr. Knutz go ahead and get rid of the ball deep on him.
I will say Mark Hodges said this week that you shouldn't expect very many formations. A team that normally does many different formations has pretty much tightened things up to 2 backs and 2 wides. 1st down and 10. Handoff. Anto running right. Runs over the top of, but is tackled by Dallas Fagan, the outside linebacker, for a gain of about 2.
Lava Bears number 14, Kyle Bailey. 2nd and 8.
Knutz throws right. It's going to be caught. No, dropped by Ortiz. Started to run before he had secured it. And so it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 coming up for Hermiston with 93 seconds left in the first half, leading by 11. Each team has 2 timeouts left in this ballgame in the first half. Knutz brings the play in from the near sideline. He gets the play from Tane Kendrick, relayed to him from head coach Mark Hodges in his 5th year here at Hermiston. 1st year calling the game from upstairs. The sophomore quarterback goes under center. Motion, Campbell, the H-back, to the left. And now a flag out on the play, delay a game on Hermiston.
Penalty marker on the play. Indication delay a game against the Bulldogs.
And so that'll move it back near the Hermiston 30-yard line. And it'll be a 3rd down and about 14 coming up. Knutz again will jog the play into the Hermiston huddle. The Bulldogs, clad in black, purple, and gold, will send 2 wide to the right. Ortiz wide, Munsterman in the slot. As the sophomore's under center. Throws out right side, incomplete, trying to get to Campbell. And it's going to be an incompletion. 1:29 left on the clock here, and the 4th down and 14 will put the Hermiston punt crew out on the field.
We'll do it at halftime. Okay?
11-point lead for Hermiston here. 17-6. Ben scored on the second play of the game. A 1-yard touchdown run by Duke DeGaetano after he took a 66-yard run on a hook and ladder play to get them down to the 1. Munsterman's punt under lots of pressure is away, and it's going to be taken, and it's going to be dropped. Loose ball. Mortar jumps on top of it, over the top of Godlove. Godlove couldn't secure it. Hermiston's got the ball down to the Bend 38-yard line. First turnover of the game on either team, unless you count the block punt, but that's not really a turnover, but it's a turnover on downs. So fumble recovered on the punt by Mortar. Again, Preston Mortar had not played tackle football until this season. A senior transfer from the Heppner area. 1st and 10. Canute, straight drop to throw. Deep down the field, far sideline. It's going to be over the shoulder and caught by Munsterman inside the 10-yard line. 29-yard pass play for Hermiston. Hadley makes the stop. Hermiston's got it 1st down and goal from the 9-yard line. Canutes has Ortiz wide left. Hands off. Anto running right, trying to get outside. He is tripped up and brought down after about a yard gain.
Trenton Anto on the carry for the Bulldogs, tackle for little gain. On the stop for the Lava Bears, number 20.
Timeout, Hermiston, Eric. You know, they're kind of slowly but surely going ahead and taking this, and they're doing a fine job with this 2-minute offense of getting the ball, you know, downfield and looking at the wide open receiver there.
Coming up on the Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show, Daniel McBride, the head coach of the Hermiston soccer team in her first year, is going to chat about their game earlier this week, a 1-1 draw against St. Helens over at Sandstone Middle School. And they start Columbia River Conference play next Tuesday at home, as they will host the Dallas Watonka Eagle Indians at 4 o'clock, also at the pitch at Sandstone. So 58.8 seconds on the clock. Hermiston up by 11, although they'd like to extend that with a 2nd and goal from the 8 coming up out of this Bulldog timeout. And because it is so late in the half, head coach Mark Hodges is down on the field, and he was the guy talking to the team there in that huddle. He was down getting ready to go into the locker room, and that fumbled punt gave Hermiston the ball at the 39-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 8. Campbell motions to the right. Play action to lob into the corner. It's going to be caught. Campbell is at the end zone. He is in for a touchdown. Alex Campbell on the 8-yard touchdown reception.
Nice job that time. Again, a play action pass, and Chase did a fine job that time. He had 2 defenders barreling down right in his face. He kind of split the arms of the one coming off to the left side of the Bend defense right into the hands of Alex Campbell for 6.
So Ramon Contreras on for the extra point. Last snap was bad. Alvarado couldn't get it teed for Contreras. The right-footed kicker gets a good tee this time, up and through. No.
Kick is no good.
Pulled it left.
Wide left.
And it is 23-6. As Contreras, it looked clean, but called wide left. So 23-6. I mean, obviously, I can't see that angle. Mark Hodges on the sidelines had his hands up into the air, signaling good, but the officials say that one missed the goalpost to the left. 53.7 seconds left. Hermiston 23, Bend 6. Bulldogs next Thursday, not Friday, but Thursday night, will go to Lamson Stadium to take on the Southridge Suns, a team that Mark Hodges said they've seen one film already. Looks incredibly like them, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Listen to Eric and study called the exciting after the 2012 season.
So the drive for Hermiston takes a little more than a minute, and it goes about 7 plays.
Number 9, Duke Degatano, also number 14, Kyle.
Jared Munsterman booted away. Cal Bailey left, Duke Degatano right on the hash marks, both inside the 5-yard line. As Munsterman will drive this one towards Bailey, who takes it at the 5. Coming to the middle of the field, he's at the 10. Near sideline 15 at the hash marks at the 20, and he's ripped down at the numbers. And it is Sterling Hall who makes his second special teams tackle. They've got him now on every special teams as they try to get Sterling involved in as many ways as possible right now. He's behind a few different guys in the depth chart at wide receiver.
Well, I'll tell you what, you like to see him because he's long, lanky, and he's pretty quick, and he's got some pretty good hands, and he does a lot of good things out there, and that's just exactly what you got to have.
First down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Shotgun snap. Koski, it's low, it's bobbled, it's going to be dropped and then picked up by Degatano, and he's going to be dropped at the 18-yard line. 3-yard loss on the play. It was not supposed to go into the hands of Degatano. It was a low shotgun snap to Koski.
Ball spotted at the 8.
Kucher and Alexander in there on the stop for Hermiston. Clock spinning, 25 seconds left here in the first half. Bulldogs lead is 23-6. Ben scored first. Hermiston scored 23 unanswered. Cody Connell wide left. Logan Troyer right, tight to the formation with the ball on the right hash mark. Although Koski is lined up to take a knee, and he will. And so the teams will head to the locker rooms with Hermiston up 23-6. Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show is on the way. After this on 1360 KOHU.
It's important to keep your vehicle running at peak performance. At Swain Motors, you can rely on GM factory-trained technicians for all of your GM warranty work, including Chevy and Oldsmobile vehicles. The service department at Swain Motors can repair most makes and models, so you know your vehicle will perform at its best. And remember, all service includes a free wash and vacuum of your vehicle. Call the Swain Motors service department today for your next appointment. Swain Motors, North Highway 395, Hermiston.
Are you ready for number one? Then you're ready for Stihl, the #1 selling brand of chainsaw worldwide. Stihl makes over 30 models of chainsaws designed for homeowners and professionals, and your servicing Stihl dealer can match you with the model that's right for your needs. Don't settle for the number of other brands at the big box stores. Get the world's #1 selling brand of chainsaw at your local Stihl dealer. Are you ready for a Stihl?
You'll find a full line of Stihl power tools at Smitty's Ace Hardware, Hermiston.
To win the game, the whole team needs to work together. It's the same with the home comfort system.
What you'll win, 694-6658, 694-6658, $183. You can claim your prize at the bottom of the stairwell behind the press box. 694-6658, $183. And if you are so inclined, you can give it back to the sophomore class. There you go. Thank you very much. Fans coming out in front of you now would draw your attention to the track out in front of the grandstands. With us is the young ladies with this afternoon's clinic from the star team, the dance team, Stardust. They all have a halftime presentation for you.
I can.
Hey yo, it's District 78. West District 78.
The dance team Stardust, as well as our future Stardust dancers. Folks, give them a hand. Great job, ladies.
Oh, that's right. I had 2 emails in the same day. So yeah, just email me. I still have it. Okay. Yeah, I found your card in with
Fans, please direct your attention across the way as the Hermiston High Marching Band enters the field. This year's marching band show is titled Travel Just Life and is meant to portray a person's travel through hardship to find a better life. The songs to be performed tonight are Caravan by Rush and My Immortal by Evanescence. This is the only portion of our show. As the season progresses, the rest of the show will be ready to perform. Please sit back and enjoy the Hermiston High Marching Band. And we would like to remind you that the band has 3 competitions coming up. The Cavalcade of Bands in Pasco on the 6th of October, the Harvest Band Festival in Yakima on the 20th, and the Veterans Day in Auburn, Washington, November the 10th. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Kennison Field, your Hermiston High Marching Band. Once again, fans, the marching band will be in competition at the Cavalcade of Bands, October the 6th in Pasco, the Harvest Band Festival in Yakima on the 20th, and the Veterans Day Festival in Auburn, Washington, November the 10th.
Again was 6 for 11, 95 yards. Alex Ortiz, 3 catches, 44 yards and a touchdown. Jared Munsterman, 1 for 29 yards. Alex Campbell, 1 for 8 for a touchdown. Thomas Hamlin, 1 for 14 for a touchdown. The big rushers in there, Chase was 1 rush for a -7. Corey Adams, 7 for 20. Trenton Anto, 4 rushes for 22 yards. Again, 12 rushes, 35 yards.
And one of the things you said there, no turnovers. Hermiston also did not turn the ball over at Sherwood in their last game 2 weeks ago. So ball control, after that being kind of a shaky statistic against Putnam and McMinnville, has been remarkably better.
Oh yeah, they've learned. You know, there's a couple of times where the ball actually did come out, but they were able to go ahead and cover up their fumble there. But they did a good job of, you know, keeping the ball off the ground and out of Ben's hands as far as any type of turnover.
Not a breath of wind here to speak of. No coolness either here in this early fall Friday night. It's 63 degrees still. It is actually supposed to be a little bit warmer tonight than it has been over the last few. Joel Johnson's got it teed for Bend to start off the second half. Hermiston leads 23-6. Also on the Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard at the half over in the Roundup grounds, Pendleton 15-8 over Baker. And Hood River Valley, after an early 3-point deficit, now up big on St. Helens 28-10. That is a halftime score. A couple other scores from around the state. Canby up on Oregon City at the half 28-14. The kick from Johnson's a little bit short. It's going to be taken by Ortiz. He's got it about the 8-yard line now, up to the 10, 15, 20, 30, gets away from a tackler, brought down from behind at the 36-yard line. Really didn't look like anything was going to happen there, and then after Connell tackled them, it was after a 21-yard return.
But you know, Eric, that's exactly what Ortiz does. He makes everybody take a look at, you know, where he was, and he stutter steps. He goes ahead and makes his little bit of breaks out there and different things, and takes over from there.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. 2 wide right side handoff. It's going to be Adams. He's got space. He's off to the races across midfield. He's at the 40 down the near sideline, the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Caught from behind by Fagan, but not before Adams gets all the way down to the 11-yard line. Boy, Hermiston sealed off that left side, and Adams was off to the races.
53-yard gain on the play, Eric. Just an absolutely take control of it and go.
Ball spotted just outside the 10.
First down number 8 for Hermiston on the night. In the first half, Bend had 11 first downs. Hermiston up 23-6 and trying to add on. Ortiz, the lone receiver, wide right, 2 tight ends into the formation. Hamblin motions left. It's going to be a handoff. Anto coming to left, sheds the tackler, gets inside the 10, reaches forward across the 5, down to the 4-yard line. It is going to go for an 8-yard gain.
You know, that time just absolute blowing people out on that front line there, and then Trenton using his pure power to go ahead and get down near the goal.
If there was a criticism of Hermiston in the first half, it would be they were maybe losing that game in the trenches.
Yeah, they were
Minute gone, handoff Anto, coming left, he's got some space, puts his shoulder down, reaches forward at the goal line, down at the 1-yard line, 3-yard gain.
Ball spotted just shy.
So the Bulldogs have come out. They've put it behind that left side where they like to run. Martinez, Garcia, Caldwell from the center to the left tackle, junior, sophomore. And they call on those three, 240, 265, and 220 pounds respectively, to move some furniture. And then Jared Munsterman's the tight end on that side. They're actually going to measure this one to see if Hermiston got enough to set up first down and goal from the 1-yard line. 10:32 on the clock here in the third period.
Once again, fans, the 50-50 ticket, 694-6658. 694.
They bring the chains from all the way over on the far sideline to the near sideline, just outside the numbers.
694-6658.
Set things down, and half the ball is across the stick, so it's a first down. First and goal from Hermiston. They'll have at least 4 shots from the 1-yard line. At least that's where they'll start on this set of downs. Thomas Hamlin is the H-back, offset to the left. Anto is the tailback, takes the handoff. Anto dives over the pile for the touchdown. Trenton Anto from 1 yard out. Hermiston's 4th touchdown of the game, and this one is the first one on the ground tonight.
You know, and that's, big play time. They were able to seal, like you said, outside, and Corey Adams, and then just pure power football after that. The Hermiston offensive line has taken control of that offense. 2-point conversion, split backs behind Knutz. He is going to play action, throw over the middle, tip it up in the air away from Munsterman. Nice play there by Joel Johnson. The defensive back playing safety, going one-on-one against Munsterman, who's got 5 inches on him, and he knocks it away from him and breaks up the 2-point conversion. 10:23 on the clock. Hermiston 29, Bend 6, just inside the start of the 3rd quarter. You know, and that's probably exactly what Ben didn't want to see, was Hermiston coming out. Just before halftime, Lake Oswego is up 41-0 against West Lynn. Lake Oswego is down 4 quarterbacks. Starter, backup on the varsity. Both JV quarterbacks are hurt as well. Jared Munsterman boots one away and hits it hard line drive, and right with his heel on the goal line is Duke Degatano. So it is going to be a touchback, and Bend will have the ball, 1st down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Well, long field now. Hermiston see what their defense comes out and see if they're as inspired as their offense started the second half out as. It's going to be Jonah Koski under center, I formation behind him. Pitch to the right side, taken by Degatano. Turns upfield at the 25, fights through a tackle of one person up to the 27-yard line. Finally coming in to finish him off on the play is going to be Ramon Contreras, but not before Degatano gets a 70-yard gain. That's a nice little toss play there, Eric. And like I said, you know, they have the capabilities of really moving the football quickly, especially if Degatano can get that corner. It's going to be a 2nd down and 3. Degatano coming to the right, breaks away from attacker. He's at the 35-40, makes another man miss across the 45, tripped up from behind and down at the midfield stripe. Degatano's run is going to go for 23 yards.
Rodriguez, Preston Mortar there to help out.
Preston Mortar helps on the tackle. And it is right at the midfield stripe for the Bend Lava Bears. Right hash mark set.
Right now at the half, Pendleton 8, Pendleton 15, Baker 8. And at the half, Hood River Valley 28, Sig Helms 10. Both at the half.
1st down and 10. Koski hands off, Degatano left, bounces the outside, puts up shoulder down and gets across the 45-yard line. About a 6-yard gain that time.
Eric, I like this guy, the way he runs. I mean, he's saddling up, and it doesn't matter which side of the line he's running off from. He's the Tyler Green reminds me of the scat back type stuff, but he runs a lot harder after the initial cut.
2nd down and 3 to go. Into Hermiston territory at the 43-yard line. Play action. Looking to throw back to the near sideline. Jump ball. Connell catches it. It's over his shoulder. Preston Mortar was on the coverage. And Cody Connell makes the catch down to the 21-yard line. It's going to go for 24 yards.
15, Preston Mortar. The reception was good for the 1st and 10. The ball slided to 22. 1st and 10, Lava Bears.
First down and 10 for Bend as they've really come out here on their first offensive possession, and they're moving the ball. And it's going to be a handoff. DeGaetano bounces to the outside, now cuts back to the middle, right in the middle of the field, gets across the 20, down right around the 17, 16-yard line, about a 4-yard gain.
Campbell. In on the play for the Bulldogs.
8.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Hermiston 29, Bend 6. As DeGaetano is the I formation behind him. Pitches to the right. DeGaetano is stopped after a yard gain to the 15.
Number 9.
Nice job that time by David Barnett getting DeGaetano before he was able to make that cut outside, keeping him from probably getting the corner and maybe in.
3rd and 3.
Third down and 3 to go from the 15-yard line. One receiver, Cody Connell, wide to the left. Couple of tight ends in on the right, one to the left side as Koski. Long count, takes the snap, hands off. DeGaetano running right, bounces the outside at the numbers, puts his shoulder down and is stopped.
DeGaetano on the carry inside.
At around the 13-yard line, maybe the 12. Very close to a first down run. And they're going to bring the chains over to take a look with the ball out near the numbers on the near sideline. So we'll bring the chains across from the far sideline with 7 minutes and 28 seconds left here in the third period, and the Bulldogs on top by 23.
Reminder that coming up this next week, the Bulldogs will be on the road in Kennewick to take on the Southridge Suns. That game is on a Thursday.
So the ball
So if you can't be there,
is just short by about an inch.
Listen in on 13.
Probably 4 down territory.
Next Thursday, the Bulldogs take
4th down and inches, right around the 12-yard line. It'll be on the right hash mark. Bend has been operating on that right hash for about a quarter and a half now.
1st and 10. 4th down, less than a yard.
Both teams looking for win number 2 on the season. Bend hit the touchdown 2 plays into the game, and Hermiston has scored 29 points since. Chase Cadutes have 3 touchdown passes. Trent Nanto just scored a 1-yard run. Jonah Koski's going under center on 4th down and inches. With the I formation behind him, McDonald and then DeGaetano dots the I. McDonald straight up the gut. He is stuffed. It's going to depend on the mark as he ran right into a pile of black shirts. Anto was in there along with Kuchar and Alvarado on the stop. And I think we're going to have to bring the chains across again to take a look. John Kuchar was the man who made the first contact and pushed Hunter McDonald back. And it just depends on where his forward progress was as far as a first down or turnover on downs around the Hermiston 12-yard line.
Eric, from where we saw it the last time, it looks like it's just about a tip of the ball short.
It is incredibly close, though, either direction. The chain is stretched. The ball is inches short. Hermiston ball.
Bulldogs hold. They'll take possession 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Run for no gain, turnover on downs, and so the Bulldogs have it with 7:20 on the clock, leading 29-6 here in the third quarter. At their own 12-yard line. Bulldogs really ran the ball well on the last drive. Munsterman wide receiver right, Ortiz to the left. Ball on the left hash mark as Chase Knutz goes under center. Just Anto in the backfield. Takes Anto handoff straight up the gut. He'll get a couple. He rolls over a defender and down to the 16-yard line as Godlove was in on the tackle along with Trey Sweeney on the play.
Nice 5-yard power run that time, Eric, to get the ball out of the shadows of that end zone.
Gain of about 4. 2nd and 6.
Bulldogs up by 23, under 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. Now the 2 receivers, Ortiz and Munsterman, are to the right. Split backs behind Knutz. Straight drop to throw. Over the middle. Going to be caught. Munsterman's got it across the 30-yard line down the left hash mark. Brought down by Fagan in one-on-one up to the 33-yard line.
Taken down by number 33, Dallas Fagan.
17-yard pickup that time, Eric.
Hamlin or Munsterman?
That looks like Munsterman.
Munsterman.
3-yard line, 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
1st and 10 from the 33. Knuts under center, straight drop, hands off. It's going to be Anto. Bounces to his right, runs into the pile, and gets a couple up to the 35. That last first down was Hermiston's 10th of the game.
Once again for the Lava Bears, Sweeney. Also there, number 24, Cameron Reinerson.
Sweeney and Rainier sit in on the stop. 2nd down and 8 coming up for Hermiston from the 35-yard line. Thomas Hamblin, the H-back, offset to the right. Anto, the deep man. Play action. Pressure. Knuts rolling right, rolling. Fakes a throw. Now he's going to be brought down to the backfield. Big sack back near the 25-yard line. And chasing him down was Justin Wetzel, the senior outside linebacker.
Another stop for the Lava Bears, number 5, Justin Wetzel.
Well, he didn't throw it into any danger.
Yeah.
But once he gets wide of that tackle box, eventually he'll learn just chuck it out of bounds.
Yeah, airmail it over the top towards one of the receivers, and, you can't keep losing the 8 yards on that.
3rd down and 16 from the 26-yard line. Knuts under center, split backs behind him, and a false start by David Barnett, who apparently was going on first sound and nobody else was. 5-yard penalty, first penalty on either squad here in the second half, with 5:21 left in the 3rd quarter.
Takes it back inside the 25 to about the 21, maybe the 22-yard line.
So now at the 20, we'll call it 1, right hash mark set. Need to get to the 43-yard line. So a 3rd down and 22 to go. Alex Ortiz wide right, Munsterman in the slot right. Knuts, hands off on the drop play. It's going to be Anto up the middle. He's got some space. He's at the 30, 35, and that's where he is going to be stopped. Good run for Anto, but he's going to come up 70 yards short of the first down, so it's about a 13-yard gain. Wetzel, another big tackle on this drive. And it's going to force a Hermiston punt under 5 minutes left in the 3rd period. Bulldogs up by 23. Sammy Godlove back to receive inside his own 30. Munsterman's had a couple of good punts here tonight. He's at his 20. High snap. Munsterman pulls it down. Pressure. He gets it away. And it's going to be a wobbler and short. Bounce about midfield, come into Bend territory, and check up at the Bend 49-yard line. Not Jared's best punt. It was not a good snap to him. And so he had to get it away under some pressure. Ends up going for about a 17-yard punt.
The nice job by, aided a little bit by the penalty and the sack. Nice job, Bend, coming back out, fired up in the defensive side. Hermiston, let's get it back on again on the defense.
2 wide left side for Jonakoski as he goes under center with the I formation behind him on 1st down and 10. Ball on the right hash mark, 49-yard line. Koski takes a snap, straight drop, looking left. He'll throw it deep down the sideline. It's going to be a jump ball up there. Costa Rodriguez knocks it away. He was in position, and really, Connell had to knock it out of Costa's hands to avoid an interception.
Play for the Bulldogs, number 7, Costa Rodriguez. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 for Hermiston. Costa's got a handful of interceptions already this season. In fact, he's had one every game so far. Had 2 at Sherwood. 2nd down and 10 from the 49-yard line. Hermiston showing blitz on the edge. 2 wide left side. Long count by Koski. He's going to hand off Degatano coming to the right. Gets across midfield into Hermiston territory. 2-yard gain to the 49, running behind right guard.
The Bulldog 49, gain of a couple.
Eric, right now, Degatano has ran the ball 22 times for 164 yards. He's having a pretty good night tonight.
That's going to put him near 600 yards on the season. And he has 4 touchdowns total this year, 1 tonight. 3 wide left side on 3rd down and 8 from the Hermiston 49-yard line. Jonakoski, the quarterback. Long count, takes a snap, straight drop, looking to throw, pressure, back in the backfield, back into Bend territory, coming off of the edge, Barnett got to,
No, it was not. It was
a corner blitz. Preston Mortar got to him.
Thomas Hamlin, what a blitz.
Was it Thomas?
Yeah, it was Thomas. And boy, what a big hit. That was a hit.
Wait, Thomas and Preston were standing right next to each other. One wears 14, one wears 15. So my apologies to Thomas. It came so quickly, Koski didn't have any shot.
Well, if he would have got away from Thomas, Mortar had him too. He was right there. You're
Fourth down and 15. Right. It's going to be a punt booted away near sideline out of bounds. And we'll see there this one gets spotted. It is going to be around the 35-yard line.
35, first and 10 Bulldogs.
And so it'll be first down and 10. Actually, 36 is where they end up putting it here after the punt. So the teams trade punts here on the last two drives. After Ben turned it over on downs, Hermiston opened this half with the touchdown to take the 29-6 lead. 3:09 left here in the third period. Bulldogs' second home game going a lot better than their first when McMinnville came here and beat them. From the 36-yard line, Chase Knutz will go under center with two wides, one to each side. And off play action, rolling right, some pressure, throws it just too far for Cole Smith on the far sideline. Knutz is completing about 53% of his passes on the season. He's got 3 touchdown passes here tonight. It's kind of a good, but a few times he just hasn't been in time with his receivers as well.
Well, you know, and as we said all year long, you know, that's going to be the situation where he'll grow into this stuff and really, especially with the youth of a lot of his receivers.
Second and 10. Handoff, Adams coming to the near side, gets a block, he's at the 45 midfield, and he gets tripped up by the 50-yard line, but not before a 15-yard run to midfield. He was trying to cut back, and he lost his footing there. It's getting a little bit cool, and probably the field's getting a little bit damp there because he tried to cut back and just ended up having his legs come out from under him. First down and 10. Knutz under center. Play action. Rolling right again. Still rolling. Throws to the sideline. Incomplete. Looking for Smith. So they can't get the sophomore quarterback and the sophomore receiver hooked up on this drive right now. Second and 10 from the 50-yard line. Hermiston 29-6, 2:44 left in the third.
They've been rolling away. Watch for a throwback over towards Ortiz this way down the sidelines.
Well, Ortiz is going to go wide right this time. Cole Smith in the slot right as Knutz goes under center. Hamlin motions out to the right side out of the backfield. Draw play. It's going to be Adams. He's caught and gets to the 49-yard line in Bend territory. 1-yard gain.
On the stop for the Lava Bears.
That's Corey's 10th run of the night for 84 yards now, Eric, and they're having a good night.
Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard update. It is Stanfield 42-0 over Elgin at the half. So Steve Scheller didn't see video of Elgin's 2 games and didn't need them. Stanfield on their way to an undefeated 4-0 start to the season and 2-0 in the Blue Mountain Conference. Third and 9. Play action. Pressure. Knutz stuck in the backfield and dumped back into the Hermiston territory at the 38-yard line. They brought a full house blitz on the play action play, and it dropped Knutz back for a loss of 13.
Ball is spotted back.
Yeah, he had no chance that time whatsoever. That was a full-out blitz by everybody. They had one defender back deep. If Chase would have been able to even get anything on the ball, I doubted he could have even got it to any type of receiver.
4th and 21, Jared Munsterman to punt on his 25-yard line. Sammy Godlove back. Pressure again. Munsterman gets the punt away, and this one's good. Godlove will let it bounce. It'll do so at the 30. Now inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. Big punt that time for Munsterman. It's going to go for 36 yards. And Bend will have it on their 26-yard line.
Eric, Bend is getting up very close also right now to coming in and blocking their own punt. That time, the last 2 punts, they've been almost within an arm's reach of getting that ball and knocking it down.
Minute 15 left here in the third quarter. The Bulldogs up 29-6. Ben scored the first touchdown of the game. Hermiston has had 29 unanswered. Joe Dukoski under center. Bend has been moving the ball offensively here in the third quarter. Hand off. This is the guy who's been doing it. DeGaetano bounces the outside, breaks away from one tackle that is tripped up. And I think it was Costa who got him by the shoelaces, and then Alexander came to finish him off after a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, you know, and they're just, this time Hermiston's offense or defensive line actually got a little bit of a push into that defensive line and was able to trip up DeGaetano.
Second down, 9 to go, and Koski straight drop, looking to throw right. He will towards the sideline. It's going to be caught by Kynell. Nice route. He's brought down at the 40-yard line after a 13-yard gain. Mortar makes the stop. Cody Connell, nice square out route there to the far sideline, and that's a tough throw by Koski. He throws it from essentially the left hash to the far sideline at the numbers. You know, his head coach Matt Craven has said he thinks that Joe Dukoski is going to get a chance to play at the next level. The senior, he's not sure where yet or how high. Craven would be somebody who knows. He did play at Linfield after graduating from Bend in 1993. DeGaetano takes a pitch going left, gets across the sticks and gets the yardage that he initially lost and is brought down way back, but they're going to give forward progress up to the 42-yard line. So Matt Craven, in his first year as the head coach at Bend, as the seconds in the third quarter tick off the clock, and he's looking at a 29-6 deficit here against Hermiston's Bulldogs at Kinnison Field. Going into the fourth period, we'll have it for you after this on 1360 KOHU.
In 1945, A.E. Sherrill opens his first Chevrolet dealership in Arlington, Oregon. 67 years later, Sherrill Chevrolet is still doing business. Family-owned and locally operated, keeping your dollars here in the community. Thank you to all of our valuable customers and friends. We will keep treating you right and making new friends. Here's to another 67 years of good service and community service. Sherrill Chevrolet, Hermiston. Chevy runs deep.
Is just right for extra membership savings. Check the latest Bi-Mart newspaper insert for even more ways to save. Extra membership savings are special buys on the front page, waiting there just for you. We work hard to bring you even greater values on the things your family needs and uses all the time. Check your newspaper, the ad center at Bi-Mart, or Bi-Mart.com for the current extra membership savings. Available only at Bi-Mart. We own it, and it shows.
KOHU, Hermiston.
Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard update after 3 quarters of play. Vernonia 39, Culver 0. That one courtesy of Billy Gates. It is 29-6 Hermiston here, start of the fourth quarter at Kinnison Field. Bulldogs on defense here, and it's going to be DeGaetano fighting through tacklers all the way up to midfield. Nice run, like you said. I mean, this guy's just fun to watch run the ball. Even though he's on the other team, he's such a hard runner.
Well, you know, and he does. He reminds me an awful lot of Tyler Green. The way he used to run the ball, just kept the drive. You know, Bobby Adams was a lot different. He bounced and scat backed a lot. Tyler Green not only had that scat back, but power. This guy's got everything. He is a good running back.
Dots the I here. Koski calls the signals after the first down and 10 into Hermiston territory. Koski to throw near sideline. Connell's got it at the 35, and he will be brought down to the Hermiston 32-yard line. A first down. Campbell and Costa on the stop. And Connell's going to end up with a 15, 16-yard gain on the play.
18 yards.
I'll take your word for it. Math is not my strong suit. 15th first down. I can count by ones, though. That's how many Bend has in this game. Half a minute gone here in the fourth period. Hermiston showing blitz off the edge. As Koski's going to fling it out to the far sideline. Troyer's got it in space. Preston Mortar wraps him up and brings him down around the 25-yard line. Nice job by Mortar to close out there. He was soft out wide, and they just threw a quick pass out to Troyer, and he ended up with just 6 yards on the play.
You know, that was nice closing, like you said, by Mortar coming back up when it looked like there was a lot more yards to pick up.
Koski under center, I formation, straight drop, looking to throw, left side, lobs it towards the end zone. Jump ball caught by Costa Rodriguez. He's going to bring it out of the end zone. Coming near sideline at the 15. He's going to be at the numbers 20 and brought down there is Hunter McDonald with the tackle after Rodriguez brings it out of the end zone. Ended up where they would have had it had he stayed at the end zone, the 20-yard line. But then again, he also could have easily been a lot farther. That was a nice tackle by McDonald to chase him down.
Yeah, that was. They missed one block on him there for Costa, and had he got that block, that would have been a good long return. But I tell you what, you can't afford to let that guy play center field and just kind of float out there, because he reads the ball when it's in the air better than anybody I've seen in a long time, Eric.
He's got an interception every game this season. Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard update. Pendleton 22, Baker 20, with 2:13 left in the third quarter. 22-20, Pendleton up by 2 on Baker in the first game of the season at the Roundup grounds for the Buckaroos. And the Bulldogs must have had a penalty.
Looks like a big one, so I'm not sure exactly what they called.
I got it already. Roughing the passer penalty. I was looking at the scores there, and so Ben still has the ball, by the way. Handoff to Agatano, who stopped in the backfield. They were trying to run it right, and Hermiston sniffed it out immediately. The first guy there was Kevin Ahmed on the play.
Also in on the play, number 14, Thomas Hamlin.
10.5 minutes. So Costa's interception gets erased because of the roughing the passer penalty. Bend ball, second down and 12.
Brown, Pendleton 22, Baker 20.
Got 4 guys out there.
2 wide left side. Second down and 11. Koski to throw, left. Lots of defenders out there. Jump ball again. Costa will take it again, and it is going to be an interception.
He got it back.
He was going to get it for sure. Now, if this was Monday night in Seattle, that would have been a touchdown, but these guys got it right.
Yep.
It was just underthrown. Troyer had run a good route to that corner, but Koski didn't quite get that one to him. And so we'll leave exactly what I had put here on the sheet. Interception goes to Rodriguez. Hermiston ball on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, the only thing it was we did not have the controversy or the big run back.
Yeah. I'd kind of gone into this hoping I wouldn't mention the Monday night game just because I didn't make it. I'm not even a Seahawks fan or a Packers fan. Canute's going to go under center, first down and 10 from the 20. Fling it out to the near sideline. It's caught by Ortiz. Ortiz makes a man miss. He's across the 25, spins off of the tackle at 30. Now he's got foot race. He's at the 40, 50, trying to pull away. Brought down into Ben territory. It was Wetzel who caught him at the 40-yard line. Alex Ortiz is going to get that one to go for 40 yards.
Right at the end there, they did get lucky that they did not have a late hit called on that play.
Bulldogs trying to speed things up a little bit here with 9:53 left in the fourth quarter. No huddle, up 29-6. First down and 10 from the Bend 40-yard line. Canute's hands off. Anto coming right. He will wrestle off of one defender. Flag out on the play from behind as he is shoved out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. But a holding penalty on Hermiston will bring it back 10. 10th penalty on Hermiston tonight. It's a lot of yards. .9:45 left. Hermiston 29, Bend 6. The penalty brings it back. So the holding penalty is a spot foul, and it was back behind the line of scrimmage. It essentially goes down as a 13-yard penalty and brings it back to the Hermiston 48-yard line, 47-yard line. 2 wide left side for Canute's as he goes under center. 2 men behind him. Blitz coming off the edge on the near sideline from Bend. They're going to bring it. It's going to be a play action. Canute's time to throw near sideline. Caught by Barnett. He gets back to that original 40-yard line for Hermiston. goes down as a 13-yard play. In fact, they get it all the way to the 37, so give him 15 on the pass.
You know, that was a nice job by Chase out there, and David Barnett by selling it and getting his hands up high.
Barnett's first reception of the game. 2nd down and 8, 2 wide left side. Knutz, hands off. Anto running straight up the gut and gets tripped up. It was the inside linebacker Connor Scott who came in, second leading tackler for Bend this season, upended Anto after a gain of 1. 9 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Hermiston 29, Bend 6. 3rd and 7 on the way for the Bulldogs at the Bend 38-yard line. Knutz, one man wide to each side. Hands off Anto, straight up the middle. Runs off of a tackler and then spins around down to the 31-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down, but ends up with about a make it a 6-yard gain on the play, 4th and 1. Hermiston's going to go for it. Sterling Hall, wide receiver left. Jared Munsterman to the right. 4th and 1 from the Bend 36. Handoff Anto trying to get to the edge right side. He does, gets the first down, gets across the 30, stays in bounds, gets down to the 25-yard line. That's where he's brought out of bounds.
Inside the 32, about the 20.
Stop for Bend by Jacob Curry. Seniors made about a handful of tackles here tonight. But the Bulldogs move the chains to the 13th time. 7-yard gain. Ortiz comes back into the game for Hall. He's going to be the wide receiver left for Hermiston. Munsterman also going left. He's directed that way by Coach Hodges, who's come downstairs and did so essentially at the end of the third quarter. 1st down and 10. From the 24, play action to throw over the middle. Ortiz leaps and it's through his hands, incomplete. 7:50 left here in the fourth quarter. Clock pause, 2nd and 10 on the way for Hermiston, leading by 23.
Eric, I had almost run the same thing as Munsterman had his corner over there beat into the corner. Plus he was about a foot taller than the kid on the outside. He had him beat all the way in the corner.
Well, they're going to line the same way. Thomas Hamblin, the H-back offset to the left. Anto, the deep man. Chase Knutz, the sophomore quarterback under center, 2nd and 10. Hands off Anto. Cuts back to his right, finds some strength, and it's going to be stripped from behind. Cam Rynearson got his hands on it, knocked it away. It's going to be a loose ball. Ben's pointing like they've got it. We wait for the signal, and it is going to be... Hermiston got it back.
Wow.
Wow, they did, and it is
Bulldogs retain possession.
Caldwell. Dylan Caldwell was in there to recover that. Cam Rynearson made a heck of a play to strip that one away from Anto. And somehow the sophomore left tackle, Dylan Caldwell, was able to get it from a scrum of about 5 white shirts. 3rd down and 5 for Hermiston from the 20. Play action. Knutz rolling right. Has some pressure. Flings to the sideline. Sliding catch. No, incomplete. They say Munsterman was out of bounds as he caught it.
Heck of a catch, though, Eric. Heck of a catch. You know, I wish we had instant replay that we could go ahead and see that that was real close.
I think he was, though. I think he had slid across as he caught that.
I agree.
So 4th down and 5 from the just across the 20-yard line. 29-6 is the Hermiston advantage. Bulldogs going to go for it.
Corner, left side corner out there in the deep one to Munsterman.
Straight drop. He's looking that way. He's going to lob it in the end zone. It's going to be Ortiz fighting, and it's going to be a flag out on the play. It came from the back judge. The side judge indicated incomplete.
Well, yeah.
And it was Sammy Godlove who was on the coverage with Ortiz. Underthrown ball. And Ortiz and Godlove were there, and they're going to call, the back judge called pass interference. There was contact. It's from the far side, so it's a long ways away from us. I don't know who instigated the contact there, but they call it pass interference, and it's going to extend Hermiston's drive with another 1st down. Down to the 9-yard line. After essentially a 9-yard penalty on the pass interference. First down and 10 for Hermiston. First down and goal for Hermiston from the 9. Ortiz and Munsterman wide right. Knutz, play action, rolling right. Flings to the sideline, too high for Alex. And too early for Munsterman, incomplete.
Number 2, Alex Ortiz.
7 minutes, 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Hermiston trying to
second and goal.
Put the finishing touches on this one, up 29-6 over Bend. Renewing a rivalry. The last time they played was in 2009 here in Hermiston in late September in an Intermountain Conference game. Handoff, Anto. Brought down to the backfield. He was hit immediately. He spun away from Jesse James, but then was finished off on the play by Trey Sweeney. Loss of 2 yards on the play, back to the 11.
And that James came right over the nose tackle position and got great penetration, made a good hit.
Bend will shift if you don't go on first sound. I saw this a lot, is they will shift that front 3 to try to give you a different look after they're set. Third down and goal from the 11. Handoff to Anto again. He's breaking through into the end zone. Broke through 2 tacklers straight up the middle for the score. Anto's second touchdown run of the game.
You know, nice job that time. And again, you can't say enough about power football, and that's just where, you know, that was more about the initial push on the offensive line, but then Anto just being the beast that he is.
And to attempt the extra point for the Bulldogs, number 8, Ramon Contreras.
Ramon Contreras to attempt the extra point. It is up, it is left, it is good. 36-6, Hermiston up by 30. 6:29 left in the fourth quarter. Let's take a break on your hometown radio station, 1360 KOHU.
When you're looking for a new vehicle, look to one place for all your automotive needs. The Swain Automotive Group. With Harley Swain Subaru and Swain Motors, you'll find new Subarus, Buicks, Pontiacs, and GMC trucks. You can also choose from a large selection of quality used vehicles. The Swain Automotive Group is a family-owned local business that's been dedicated to providing excellent customer service to our community for over 30 years. Stop in today at Swain Motors and Harley Swain Subaru in Hermiston, part of the Swain Automotive Group.
First Community Credit Union is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Since 1957, First Community has served communities like ours with the same commitment and same mission: to provide our community with dependable financial solutions, because where we live, community comes first. Visit myfirstccu.org or your local branch for financial solutions you can trust. First Community Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender.
KOHU, Hermiston.
Well, the Bulldogs have really been impressive here tonight. It's not perfect, but they've played really well.
Yeah, they have. They, you know, after the initial smack in the mouth, like you said, there was a little bit of confusion on the early game. They took control. They stayed calm. They stayed cool. They went ahead and thought this game out. Coach Mark Hodges, that's the way he coaches, and that's the way he believes he wins games, being smart.
Kick is going to be a bouncer. It'll be picked up right around the 5-yard line. Running out to the right side is going to be Bailey. Makes a man list, turns upfield at the hash marks, and it gets up to about the 15-yard line on the play. About a 10-yard return, and that's where Bend will have it, down 36-6 with 6:21 left in the fourth.
You know, the nice kickoff that time again. You know, Jared really puts the foot to it, even though he hits that low-line drive. That's awful hard to catch unless you catch it on that. It takes a good first bounce for you, because it could go either way of you, and you're just not ready for the balance on that.
First down and 10. Man in motion, right to left. It's going to be a handoff coming left side on a trap play, and corner here for Degatano. He gets outside the numbers. He's across the 20 and is going to be hit out of bounds there. And a little bit of extracurriculars from the sidelines there. Looked like I'm going to be honest, a late hit from Hermiston. And now a flag out on the play. It's going to go against Bend, as unhappy Justin Wetzel was, and I understand why, because DeGaetano got hit and ended up in the jump pit. And Joe Nikoski just shaking his head here, hands on his hips as he's near the officials, listening to them talk about this one. 6:05 left in the fourth quarter here. Bulldogs up 36-6. Still waiting for the indication. The run by DeGaetano was good enough for a first down. Up to the 27 is where they marked him out. The officials still discussing this one. Now the unsportsmanlike conduct personal foul is indicated from the officiating crew. And so it's going to move Bend back to about the 14-yard line. It really did look like that should have been a late hit call there, because when the tackle was made, like I said, he got hit into the jump pit. It's 4 or 5 yards off the field there. And, yeah, I honestly didn't see who did it. I'm not protecting anybody here, but
He got hit into a sand pit. He got hit into a sand pit 5 yards.
So what it ends up doing is, instead of the first down on the DeGaetano run, it's now looking at a second down and about 12 from the 14-yard line. It's going to be Connell to the left, Troyer to the right for Koski as he goes under center here after the personal foul penalty. 2nd and 12. Hermiston showing blitz off the edge. It's going to be Koski. Rolls out away from the pressure. Gets away from one tackler. Getting around the corner. Tripped up from behind on the play. Koski got back to about the line of scrimmage there, and it was Hammond who made the stop.
Number 24, Kevin Hammond.
He did get back to the line of scrimmage, so 3rd down and 12 coming up from the 14-yard line. 5:35 left here in the fourth period. Hermiston 36, Bend 6. Bulldogs will play next Thursday night at Lamson Field, or Lamson Stadium, against the Southridge Suns. 3rd down 12, rolling out to the left, play action play. It's going to be Connell caught on the near sideline at the 25, shoved back on the play. Again, Matt Connell ran another nice route, and it's going to be up to the 25-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 25.
And that is just short of the yard to gain. No, now they will bring the chains across.
Fans, just a reminder that...
Well, it's an official's timeout here. They're discussing something that came from the far sideline.
Thursday at Desert Lanes on 385 from Hermiston. Noon at Desert Lanes.
4th
Thursday.
in less than a yard.
For the linebacker.
Ben's going to go for it. Duke DeGaetano dots the I behind Hunter McDonald, the fullback. Troyer motions left to right, out wide right now. Koski trying to get him to jump on the hard count. Now looks to the far sideline, and a timeout's going to be called.
Timeout.
Joe Nikoski got Hermiston earlier in this game on that hard count on a 4th, and it was about 4 to get a first down. Hermiston held solid that time. And so it's going to be a 4th and inches out of the Bend timeout. We'll take it as well. 4:46 left. Hermiston up 36-6 at Kinnison Field on 1360 KOHU.
Hermiston Glass is your local one-stop Glass Shop. From window and screen repair to complete replacement of old drafty windows and torn up screens. And they service more than just residential home windows, commercial storefronts, desk and tabletop glass, even auto glass. If it's glass, Hermiston Glass can handle it. They can even help lower your energy costs this winter by keeping the cold air out with new energy efficient windows. Hermiston Glass, your one-stop glass shop. CCB 147211.
So you're driving along the interstate when you run over a medieval sword left over from an old Renaissance fair. Luckily, every car or pickup tire that Les Schwab sells comes with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you. Along with great prices, we give you free flat repairs and more for the entire life of the tire. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952. Come in now and get a great deal at our fall tire sale. Hurry, our biggest sale of the year ends October 31st.
KOHU, Hermiston.
So Ben did end up punting the ball, 4th down and inches from their 26-yard line. And it was a nice high kick from Joel Johnson. It gave Matt Connell time to get downfield and didn't quite time it right. He got to the receiver back deep for Hermiston prior to the ball by a split second. And there's a flag out on the play. It's going to be interference with the kick receiver. And so Hermiston will get the ball after the penalty on Bend.
So why isn't I'm wondering why a penalty isn't marked off there from the spot. Now, because there was no Hermiston touch on the football.
Well, no, I mean, it hit the
I understand.
receiver. But the Bulldogs are getting the ball at the 41-yard line, which is where the guy who received the punt was when he got hit early. And then Ben returned it, actually, because it was a fumbled ball. And so that's where they're saying the 15 yards is. So Hermiston has it, 1st down and 10 from their 41-yard line. 4:33 left here in the 4th quarter, leading 36-6. Play action. Now dumped out into the flat right side, caught by Campbell. Campbell stops, starts, goes back towards the middle of the field, across midfield, breaks away from a tackler into Bend territory, down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. 15-yard gain on the play for Alex Campbell. Wetzel makes the stop. Sterling Hall wide left. Cole Smith to the right, short side of the field with the ball in the right hash mark. Knutz under center. Hands off. Coming near side. Adams turns upfield across the 40, and he's wrestled down. Connor Scott finished him off when Fagan had him by the legs. Reinierson in on the tackle as well for Ben. 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4 on the way for Hermiston. Under 4 minutes left here in the period. Bulldogs on their way to a 2-2 start to the season. After having last week off because of the cancellation in Lewiston. Handoff to Adams, coming left, bounces away from 1, and then gets maybe a yard up to the 37-yard line. Scott in on that stop as well. Scott and Reinierson, those two inside linebackers, they just do so much tackling, as inside linebackers obviously and often do, but they are about double anybody else on the team when it comes to tackles. Each of them are going to be in the 50s after tonight's game. 2 wide left side for Knutz on 3rd down and 4. Campbell's going to motion. Left to right behind play action. Blitz from behind. Thrown too high. It's going to be bobbled and incomplete. It was bobbled by the defensive back for Bend. Brody Hadley was the closest to it, and David Barnett had kind of pulled up on that one. In fact, I think he cramped on that one. 4th down and 4 on the incompletion. 3:05 left in the 4th period.
Yep.
Hall left, Smith right. Bulldogs at the Bend 38-yard line, going to go for 4th and 4. Adams, the deep man, takes the handoff, running right, sheds a tackler, puts his shoulder down, gets across the 35, inside the 35, around the 32-yard line. He's out of bounds. It is going to be enough for a first down to move the chains for the Bulldogs.
That's a nice little 6-yard gain. Most of it all Corey Adams at the end.
Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard update. Hood River Valley up 42-10 after 3 quarters of play at home against St. Helens. But Alswataka was off tonight. Pendleton has scored, so they're up by, I believe, 8 over in the Roundup grounds, but I haven't seen a score yet. I just know they got a touchdown. Adams again up the middle, gets to the 30, about a 2-yard gain.
On the stop for the Lava Bears, number 5.
2:45 left here in the 4th period. 1st and 10. All right, here was the score. It is Baker on top, 34-29 over Pendleton. Baker's got the lead over Pendleton at the Roundup grounds. Hermiston cruising here. Adams stops, ducks under a tackler, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, which was no easy task because Bend had got a lot of pressure in the backfield on that play. Kyle Bailey and Trey Sweeney. 2:10 left here in the 4th quarter. Hermiston 36, Bend 6. Bulldogs continuing to milk time, 3rd down and 9. Hall and Smith wide right, short side of the field, play action. Knutes to throw, in trouble, back in the backfield, gets away from one tackle, gets away from another tackler, to the near sideline, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Loses yards on the play, not as many as it could have been.
Down Fagan.
He was Fagan who eventually finished that one off, but it's going to be a loss of 6 for Hermiston. 4th down and
4th and about 16.
At the 36-yard line, 4th down and 14 to go. Hermiston's got to get it to the 21. Not quite to the 21. And the ball, those are the balls actually just short of the 35-yard line. Right hash mark set. Smith to the left, Hall to the right. That one took a long time, and Hermiston will take a timeout. Their first of the second half. 1:44 left. They're up 36-6, and we'll take it as well on 1360 KOHU.
He's on the 40. He's on the 30. The 20. The 10. It's a touchdown.
There's nothing like the excitement of a high school game. It's the best entertainment in town. Support our area schools. Go to the games and see our student athletes in action. Now that's entertainment. Old West Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. When you grow, we grow.
Gets blanked tonight, according to Madras Pioneer sports editor Billy Gates. Look at this one. Silverton 28, West Albany 21. 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Knutes to throw on 4th and 14. It's going to be a jumping, leaping, incomplete catch. The catch was made, but Campbell was out of bounds on the near sideline around the 20. So it'll be a turnover on downs. Bend will get the ball here with 1:38 left, trailing 36-6. Other scores that we're seeing here. So it is Baker 34, Pendleton 29 in the 4th quarter after Baker converts a 2-point conversion.
The score from the Roundup grounds in Pendleton late 4th. Baker 34, Pendleton 29.
I don't know why the fans are clapping for that. They need Pendleton to win because of RPI. I'll explain it again next week in another column, I guess. 1st down and 10. Play action. Rolling right, new quarterback in, dumps it off, and it's going to be caught, but
Cody Anthony on the...
After the catch, Sawyer Stoltz falls down. Cody Anthony is into the game, the sophomore quarterback for Bend. They don't have a ton of their sophomores because they've played 2 games already this week in JV ball, so they're kind of low on reserves here for tonight's game. 1:13 left, and the clock is spinning here in the fourth quarter. Hermiston up by 30. They've scored 36 consecutive points after Bend scored about 30 seconds into the game. Play action. Anthony rolling left, dumps it off into the flat. It's going to be caught there, and some space to run for Nealon. Nealon right around, not Nealon, but Hunter McDonald. The fullback comes out of the backfield, makes the catch, gets into Hermiston territory down to the 49-yard line. Good play there, about 16 gain.
Reception was good for a first and 10.
Aloha up 43-7 with about 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Over on the west side on the Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard. First down and 10 for Ben. Anthony to throw, right side. It's going to be caught out on the wing. Torrier's got it, reaches forward, gets the first down up to the Hermiston 38-yard line. 11-yard gain on that pass play. Go to Anthony, slinging the ball around. I got a final for Stanfield, 55-2 at Elgin tonight. Traditional score. First down and 10, play action. Anthony rolls left, dumps it too high, and looking to get the ball to Cole Stanley on the play. Incomplete, second down and 10. Pauses the clock with a little more than 20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Bend is going to be home to host a Summit and open up Intermountain Conference play next week on Friday night at Punkunnel Stadium at Bend High School. Second down and 10 now. Anthony, the backup quarterback, play action rolling right this time. Dumps it off our sideline, and at the shoestrings, it is caught on the far sideline. Stanley makes that catch.
To number 2, Logan Troyer. Taken out of bounds.
Cole Stanley pulls up his shirt because you couldn't quite see the number and shows it to the near sideline. Just joined it out Troyer. Stanley on that catch there. He just wanted to make sure everybody saw the number.
I'm sorry.
He gives a thumbs up. 13 seconds left. Third down and 4.
Cole Stanley. Cole's a 6-foot senior, 200 pounds, and his favorite color is blue.
Third down and 4. Anthony to throw. Left side, lobs it deep, jump ball, picked off. It's going to be Campbell coming the other direction. It's going to be Contreras. He gets away from a tackler. He's at the 40, gets a block, coming towards the middle of the field, 45-50. There's a flag out on the play. He's into Bend territory. He's gone. He's going to be into the end zone, but this one is coming back. There's no time left on the clock. A block in the back is going to be called on Hermiston. However, because it was a turnover, the turnover still counts because it's on the return. There's no time left on the clock. The game is over. And that will bring us to a close. So the penalty does count. And so it is a 36-6 ending. Ramon Contreras, who had a 70-yard kickoff return 2 weeks ago against Sherwood at the end of the game, does not get his touchdown return, which would have gone for about, I think, 85 yards because of an apparent block in the back on the return. So the Bulldogs win 36-6, the final score. All right, let's take a break. Post game on the way after this on 1360 KOHU.
Haley, do you take the color Crouching Tiger 4022 to cherish every day?
I do.
And Crouching Tiger 4022, do you take Haley's wall for as long as you match her decor?
I do.
You may now check out.
Find your soul paint at Ace. Choose from a wide selection of colors from Benjamin Moore and Clark and Kensington. At Ace, the helpful place.
Get ready to finish those weekend projects with a fresh coat of paint. You can find the Clark and Kensington and Benjamin Moore lines of paint at Smitty's Ace Hardware.
To win the game, the whole team needs to work together. It's the same with the home comfort system. There's a bunch of parts in there that need to work together every day to keep your family warm on a cold evening. Otherwise, your furnace can quit working. That's when you call in the team at Eclipse Heating and Cooling. Our guys will perform a system service rejuvenation to get your home comfort system back in the game.
Good people, great service, Eclipse Heating and Cooling.
In the Hermiston area, call 541-564-1031. Tri-Cities, call 509-586-0379.
It's important to keep your vehicle running at peak performance. At Swain Motors, you can rely on GM factory-trained technicians for all of your GM warranty work, including Chevy and Oldsmobile vehicles. The service department at Swain Motors can repair most makes and models, so you know your vehicle will perform at its best. And remember, all service includes a free wash and vacuum of your vehicle. Call the Swain Motors service department today for your next appointment. Swain Motors, North Highway 3.